Super Smash Bros. Ultimate truly lives up to its name. From the jaw-dropping reveal of everyone is here, to the introduction of a fan favorite many thought little more than a pipe dream, it was clear along every step of the way that Masahiro Sakurai wanted to make this the Smash Bros. To end all Smash Bros. And now that he's semi-retired with no plans of creating a sequel, it seems it may be exactly that. As sad as it is to see a monolith of the gaming industry reach its final destination, I can think of few better send-offs than Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Wait, it made how much money? Okay, Smash isn't going anywhere. Good morrow everyone, Silvershire here, and welcome back to Armchair Game Design, where I pretend to know more about making games than the people who make games. In this video, I'm going to pitch my ideas for Super Smash Bros. 6, or 7 if you want to be pedantic. The way I see it, nothing is ever going to out-Ultimate Ultimate. Even if, by some miracle, the next game could bring back Ultimate's entire roster, it wouldn't have the same impact, because it's been done before. Yet, if the next game is smaller in scale, that's just going to be disappointing. So I say we go bigger in a different way. Evolve the Smash formula to create a new experience that isn't trying to directly compete with Ultimate. But that's easier said than done, so without any further ado, let's get into this. I'm not going to go into the specifics of the roster, because that's dependent on a huge number of factors, including which properties Nintendo wants to promote at the time, which third-party companies are willing to lend out their characters, and which blue-haired sword boy is the star of the latest Fire Emblem. But in general, the roster should be smaller, maybe around 30 characters, so that each one can be fleshed out and feel totally unique. Imagine the crazy moveset potential of series mainstays like Samus and Ganondorf if they were reworked to the standard of modern DLC fighters. Even those who don't require mechanical overhauls could benefit from having their animations and sound effects touched up. But that alone wouldn't set this game apart. What we need is a new, system-wide mechanic that adds depth for both pros and casuals without overcomplicating the game's core mechanics. And to that end, I propose a super meter. This is a staple of the fighting game genre that even Smash has dabbled with in the past, so I don't think it would feel out of place. Meter could be built up by dealing damage, taking damage, or both, depending on what sort of playstyle the devs want to encourage. You'd then be able to spend this meter on supers, which would be powered up versions of the character's specials done by pressing the currently unused fourth face button instead of B. Some moves would just get a boost to damage and or speed, but others would get unique properties. Maybe Mario's Fireball could become an ice ball that briefly freezes enemies, or Link's Spin Attack could call down Urbosa's Fury to increase its area of effect. Also, if you had Final Smashes turned on, they too would be assigned to the super button, solving the annoying issue of not being able to use neutral specials when your Final Smash is ready. Meter could potentially be used for tons of other things, like combo breakers or invincible dashes, but at that point, meter management might overshadow other aspects of the game. So that brings us to the cosmetic side of things. One of my favorite parts of modern fighting games is character customization, but other than the Miis, this feature is absent from Smash. It's understandable that Nintendo and the companies they work with don't want us to dress up their mascots in any which way, but I still think we could be given a little more freedom to express ourselves. What if, in addition to alternate costumes, every character had one interchangeable accessory? Cloud could switch out the Buster Sword for one of his other weapons, Piranha Plant could have a selection of pots and pipes to choose from, and Steve could don helmets made of different materials. This would require a bit of creativity for certain fighters, but I think it's doable, especially given the smaller roster. Last, but certainly not least, I'd like to see some more character interactions. The main appeal of Smash Bros. Is that it's a crossover between some of the biggest names in gaming, but aside from Easter eggs like Palutena's guidance, not much is done with this concept. It would be great to see what the fighters actually think about one another and the locations they find themselves in. As cool as it would be to have NetherRealm-style intros for every combination of characters, that's a lot of work, and it isn't very well suited to the less vocal members of the roster. So instead, I suggest having victory quotes appear as text after the match. This would be a great place to work in references to both their home series and to Smash history. For example, if Captain Falcon beats Min Min, he could apologize and say that he hopes he's still allowed at the Noodle House. But the voice actors aren't getting off that easy, because each character would also have a rival battle near the end of Classic Mode, complete with a cutscene that gives context for the fight. Maybe Pokemon Trainer could mistake Yoshi for a Pokemon and try to catch him, or Bowser and K. Rool could compete to see who's the better reptilian villain. Wait a minute. Rival battle, super meter, smaller roster. Did I just recreate PlayStation All-Stars? There's obviously a lot more that would need to go into a new Smash entry, but I think the 4 pillars of reworked veterans, super meter, visual customization, and character interactions would make for a solid foundation. Of course, I'm not the only armchair expert around here, so to all of my lovely viewers, what do you think the next Smash game should be? Also, let me know if you'd like to see longer videos dedicated to any of these concepts. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I bid thee farewell. Ezio. Ezio. The one time I actually do want you to jump into the water, you jump into a fence.